Music is such a powerful thing, you know, it's a statement in itself. It's something that works without words, and it's just a wonderful way to convey an emotion. My first instrument was the violin, and I started learning when I was 7. My dad, who was a pretty musical person himself, gave all of us children a choice of what instrument to play, and I just knew I wanted to play the violin. I have a brother and a sister, and one of us was always practising at home, and if that wasn't happening, then my dad always had medieval music on, which I must say was quite an embarrassment when I was a teenager. I never wanted to bring my friends home because I knew my dad would always have this, you know, Gregorian chants on in the lounge room. I knew how cutthroat and competitive it was going to be a solo classical player, and didn't really enjoy playing in orchestras. So, in fact, I actually decided to stop playing for a couple of years, and I did. And that's when I left school and went and became a nurse instead. Then I worked in a library for a little while, and then I realised how much better it would be being a musician. So I went back to it. Once I decided to be a musician again, I wanted to be in a band so badly, and no one ever wanted a violin player, so I learnt bass guitar and just to get in a band.
I think when Jen came down to Sydney from Lismore, or wherever she'd been living, she was pretty, I think she felt she was burning daylight, you know, and she really wanted to get playing. Then all of a sudden she had the gig with the Black Sorrows, and she was moving down to Melbourne.
For the very first time, your smiling face was calling out your innocence. Then the band played on, we're dancing in each other's arms.
It was a big thing for me to come from the country and within 6 months find myself in an internationally famous band, and all of a sudden be touring around the world in limousines and staying in the best of hotels and being courted by the record companies around the world. And you know, looking back on it now, it just feels like a dream. And it was a dream come true. I used to dream about being in a rock band and touring the world, and then it suddenly happened.
I'd been in rock and roll bands for years. It never did any good, and from the moment I started playing with piano accordions and violinists and pedal steels, that was when my career sort of took an upturn. So weddings, parties, anything from day one had a piano accordion, and I'd always wanted to have melody instruments, so it was a natural that Jen would come and play with us.
My friend said if he stayed here, he'd never give up drinking. But I think if I don't leave soon, I'm gonna get to thinking I'm the luckiest man.
There was no doubt from day one that she added something to what we did.
That shocked you, didn't it? The luscious Lulu in the silent flick Pandora's Box. Back then it was banned in America, and it was severely censored right throughout Europe. The composer who wrote the new score for this classic silent movie is a rock and rolling violinist from the Black Sorrows. Would you please welcome back Jen Anderson.
It was a wonderful experience for me, and my first experience with film and television, and I just loved the movie and I loved the whole thing, and that gave me the taste for wanting to work more with a visual image. I'd been on the road basically for 6 or 7 years, and I knew that I wasn't going to want to do that forever, and I also knew that I wanted to make a career out of music. So I guess I was trying to get one step ahead there in finding a way that I could keep making a living out of being a musician without endlessly touring and living in hotels and at pubs. I got a call from Clara when I was actually up on holidays back up on the mid-north coast, and of course she wanted me to start work, you know, tomorrow, and I had to rush back from my holiday because I didn't want to miss the opportunity of working with such a wonderful director.
I showed it to her and said, well, I want music to be in this bit and this bit and this bit, and I want it to be, you know, around what kind of feel, yeah. And then she came back with some pieces, and I found that it wasn't working that way because, again, you know, it's that thing of you I think intuitively follow what you see on screen, and you follow that kind of mood, and I want something that is not working like this but counter-pointing against each other.
What's it like living in Tokyo?
It's like living in Mars.
I took all the tape away from Jen, so Jen had no access to the tape, not the film, and just give her some headings like, you know, okay, I want a piece on compassion or forgiveness, or this would be a piece on loneliness and isolation. Then she came to me a week later with 6 pieces, and I found them really wonderful pieces, and I said, well, we've got it here. I think doing it like this actually call up something that is, you know, something that is from the composer herself, and I think it works that way much better than anything else that we have done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just like to write something that is going to stir me and mean something to the people that are listening to the music.
I think where her sense of innovation comes from is in not being scared to virtually tackle any sort of new skill.
To me, one of the nicest things is if someone comes up to me and says, you know, you really moved me with that piece of music, or what you played tonight, or whatever. That really makes me happy, you know. I get a good feeling.
Yeah,